Our Father who is in heaven, your name is wow, set apart, holy, and Kodesh. Wow. Your kingdom come, your will be done here in earth, even as it is there in the heavenly place. New perspective on those words. New perspective on what has been one of my favorite passages here for several years. Psalm 2, 1 through 4. Psalm 2. What? Now I'm going to read the English. Whoops. Come here. I've got my digital Bible. I'm going to read the King James Version, which is just what I'm used to. But listen, Psalm 2, 1 through 4. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his Messiah, his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Verse 4, he that sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. And that's kind of how I read that. That's kind of how I liked that. These heathen people raging and all these different people groups imagining vain things against our Father and against us. And, the kings of the earth, they set themselves. The rulers take counsel together against him and against us. Let's break away from God and his people, and let's just shatter them from the earth and rid the earth. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. He shall have them in derision. That's how I read it for years. Brand new perspective. You ready for this? This is going to knock you down if you get it. Good morning. It's still dark outside. It's 7 o'clock and yet it's still dark outside. Got up at 4 this morning. Woo! It's been great in here. Now, new perspective. Back to that prayer outline that we were given. Our Father. Our. That means all of his little children's Father. All. It's a key word in this new perspective of this Psalm 2, 1 through 4. Our Father who is in the heavens. Your name, wow, your name, your authority, your character. I mean, we could just go on and on and on the rest of our life and not even scratch the surface of how fabulous and deep and truth-filled and loving is your name. Whoa, your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done in the earth just like it is where you live. It's all going to tie together. This is fresh bread from this morning. Back to Psalm 2, 1 through 4. Why do the nations and the people groups gather to just rant against our Father and against his ways? Why do his own children sometimes do the same thing? Why do the rulers of the earth, they gather themselves in the councils, speaking against and against us? He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahovah, Jehovah, however you pronounce his name, it's in here over 6,800 times. And I just like to call him by his name. He that sits in the heavens. He shall laugh. He shall have them in derision. And he brought this up into my mind, and he said, you want to see that verse the way I see that verse? Do you want to see that verse? Would you like for me to unveil the mystery hidden in that verse? You know, you're just like, yes, Daddy. I don't even know what you mean. He said, I'm going to show you a different perspective of that verse. You've seen it with teeth gritted and hard-heartedness, but I'm going to show you my way of seeing it through my heart. See, the heathen, they rage. The heathen, those that are not his, those that are subject to darkness because they haven't turned their heart toward him and become his little child, those that don't know him, those ones, they rage and they just, you know, like I used to do. And maybe you did too. The kings of the earth setting themselves, the rulers in their counseling chambers. See, Daddy sees every one of these as individuals. They're individuals, and they are very, very precious to him. Just when I was his enemy, I was spewing out all kind of the same things. When I was under an umbrella of darkness, I was these people. Now what if he had seen me through that heart, that hard-hearted rendition of these words? But our Daddy just exudes tender mercies and loving kindness. Yeshua, Yesu, Jesus, however you pronounce his name. He said, now I'm telling you to love your enemies. Be good to those who use you and abuse you, chase you and persecute you. This morning when I was sitting with Daddy, he was showing me the enemies and how they live individual lives. These kings, these counselors, these, well, whatever, fill in the blank. They have personal lives. And Daddy allows tight places. He allows constricted places, not only to individuals, but also to nations. But back to these people, of which were we, in their secret little alone times when pressure and darkness is pushing in on them and they just don't know where to turn. They may be some big huge Hollywood star. They may be a big huge music artist. They may be some high level elite athlete. They may be a dispewer of darkness star on television news media worldwide. I mean, they could be whatever. But Daddy sees them as precious potential children. And He allows the darkness to bring us to tight places, to constricted places, so that in that alone place, when that person that we only see their facade, when that person is in that alone place and their life is crashing and darkness and pressure is coming on them, some of them will say, I need your light. And they will turn to Him in a humble position. And some of them will become His little precious, precious, precious little child. And the angels, just when one of us turns, the angels erupt. In joyous hallelujah praise. And Daddy, when that happens, He laughs. He laughs. Because some of these that we want to speak of with a hard heart, if we'll take Daddy's perspective and remember who we were, and share in His loving kindness, His tender mercies toward these, His and our enemies. If we see them with His heart, through His perspective, we will be overjoyed when the darkness and the pressure that comes on all of us comes on them. And some of them, if just one, turns and becomes His little precious child, His little child of light, that now is turned from the darkness and is a seeker of His heart, to know His ways and to understand His precepts. Now that one, He's not laughing at them. He's laughing because preciousness, little children are coming out of that. If only one, that's worth joyous laughter for eons. That's how He sees enemies. And if we will see enemies, again, of which we were, we can pray for them. We can speak His heart and His perspective. In a video previous, I said He was showing me, this is kind of a culmination of several weeks of years of information, and He just gave me this new perspective this morning. We've been speaking out against them. Our Father who is in heaven, hallowed is your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done in earth. What's your body made out of, earth? What's these ones we're talking about bodies made out of, earth? Daddy, your will be done in earth just like it is in heaven. So when we see as he sees, and we do as he does, and we say as he says, with his heart we say what he says. See, I'm seeing this totally different now. This broke me down this morning, weeping because of the new perspective that I now have over what was a favorite passage. It's a brand new passage today. When we see ourselves and even our enemies through his eyes, we are made well. We enter into a well place, a place that is total peace, restful, joyful, and we just get to go through the day today like a river. Because he has given us this new perspective on this very old passage. We can have his heart toward his and our enemies and flow today. Just get in the river and flow. Let this day be a flowing day. Yay! Be well.